Hi everybody, welcome back to the Space Blast. And today is my first ever live stream on this channel, and I have my dad over here.
Hey, Satvik.
And today we're going to be doing the Artemis II launch live stream. So, woohoo! Look, right now the astronauts are inside their spacecraft, and everything is looking for a good liftoff, but they are troubleshooting some issues on the FTS system, so hopefully everything still goes all right. Praying for the launch of Artemis II. And there it is, right there. NASA's screen.
It's going to be new territory for us.
Enjoy.
We want to get our arms around that completely. So I would say the performance of SLS plus Orion is everything on this one. We want to make sure we do it in as safe way as we possibly can, understanding what we are undertaking right here. Bring our crew back, learn as much as we can from the
vehicles. No, just fine.
Because it is reflecting everything in your glasses.
Some kids running around the balcony.
Artemis
II inspires the next generation.
It's just your thing, fine.
One of our overarching KPIs that we should always be tracking is the number of people living and working in space. Well, you know what's another strong number two on that one? It's the number of kids that are dressing up as astronauts for Halloween, so that they grow up, that they're inspired to want to join in this grand endeavor, whether they come work with us here at NASA or they join in industry, but they're helping humankind venture out farther, pursue all the secrets of the universe.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of kids dressed as astronauts this year. And finally, Jared, you've really made it a personal mission to get to know the people behind the work at NASA. Do you have any final thoughts, any final words before today's history-making launch?
Yeah, well, one, I want to express a lot of appreciation. I'll tell you what, the four astronauts on top of Artemis II know this. It takes an army to pull a mission together like this, right? Across all 10 of our centers, all of our commercial partners, the international partners that come together to make this possible. My sincere appreciation for everyone who is currently working the mission right now, so getting them ready for launch, that will be watching over them in mission control, recovering this crew when they splash down off the West Coast. I have complete trust and confidence in your abilities, and everybody else who's not directly working on Artemis II. Artemis III is coming up next year. When this mobile launcher gets back in the VAB, we're going to start stacking.
Wow, plenty of excitement ahead of us. Jared Isaacman, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Of course. All right. And with that, let's get back to the countdown with NASA's Megan Cruz.
Under 25 minutes and counting from the opening of our 2-hour launch window. And take a look at all these people behind us. I literally, the moment I turn around and I see the clock, I am like, oh, wow. Oh, wow.
There are more people and less time.
Yes, exactly, which is a great problem to have.
Yes.
Now, this first crewed test flight of NASA's Artemis program coincides with the 250th anniversary of our country's founders signing the Declaration of Independence. Exploration is a part of America's DNA, and it continues now with our return to the moon.
250 years ago, 13 colonies laid the foundation for the greatest and most enduring democracy in the history of the world. One driven by courage, faith, and freedom. From that moment, we became a nation defined not by where we stood, but by how far we were willing to go. We conquered vast frontiers, invented tools that shaped a modern world. We found light in the dark, and we rose from the earth. Faster, higher, farther. We pushed beyond the sky and into the unknown. We carried our courage into the cosmos, and we planted the American flag on the moon, the defining achievement of American superiority in space. Today, our curiosity stretches farther than ever. American robots search ancient rivers on Mars. New telescopes unfold to glimpse the first stars. And a new generation prepares to return to the moon, this time to stay.
So, for those of you who are just joining, welcome to the Artemis II launch livestream. My name is Satvik Ranjanagi, and I will be one of your hosts today, joining my dad over here.
Hello everyone.
And right now we are at L minus 22 minutes and 40 seconds, T minus 40 minutes, no, 10 minutes into the count. We're right now in a planned hole at T minus 10 minutes. L minus clock is still ticking down. So for those who don't know, the T minus clock has built-in hold. So that's why on our screen it says that the L minus clock has a hold. Meanwhile, the T minus clock is a hold. Meanwhile, the L minus clock is running down, ticking down. That clock does not stop. So the T minus count accounts for built-in holds, and the L minus clock does not stop. So for those of you who are just wondering, that's what's happening right now. And so you can see NASA's L minus clock, or if you can't see it, you can just go at NASA's website and see the launch. But either way, we're at L minus 21 minutes to launch. So today is a very exciting day for most space fans. So I'm glad to have you all at the Space Blast. And while you're watching, if you don't mind, please help me and my channel reach 200 subscribers by hitting that like and subscribe button. It would help me out a lot. Thank you so much for everyone who's watching. And me and my dad will be doing a Q&A in just a bit. Thank you so much.
I'll return to these like little plastic bags. You have to like rehydrate it. Sushi. There's not. I haven't seen sushi in space.
Thanks so much for everyone who's watching, and me and my dad will be doing a Q&A in just a bit. Thank you so much.
She had a question. She patiently held her hand for a long time, and Christina turns to her and says, "Okay, what's your question?" She just goes, "I forgot." It was like, that's a perfect little kid moment. I just like.
Wait, are you my mother's cartoon astronauts?
What? Say that again?
Never mind. It's a little hard to say. Go Artemis!
These two? Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. I like your dabbing astronaut enthusiasm, the energy, and a little bit of chaos.
3, 2, 1.
Wasn't that so cute?
I love kids and their excitement and, you know, even just being real. Like, I don't remember what I was
know, he
ask.
goes, but I'm glad you're here. Now here we are, Space Center Houston. The crowd has exponentially grown throughout the day. We started showing you live shots from in there probably an hour ago, and now take a look at all the people there getting ready to witness history together. It's something really special to be able to witness something like this together.
Yeah, you know, we've heard from celebrities and officials.
So now we're here with our Q&A. So let's start with our first question that many people have asked. So I'll let my dad take it.
For this mission we're
yeah, how tall is SLS?
Well, SLS is 322 feet tall, which makes it taller than the Statue of Liberty, which, well, it's pretty surprising, but it's one of the tallest rockets out there. And another question that many people have is,
how much does it weigh?
Well, the SLS rocket weighs about 5.75 million pounds when fully fueled. That's just when it's fully fueled. When it's not fully fueled, it weighs somewhere near 3 million pounds. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I see there are 2 boosters. So what are those?
Those are 2 17-story tall solid rocket boosters that provide 75% of the initial thrust during liftoff. These boosters will be attached to the SLS rocket for 2 minutes during the ride to orbit, and these provide most of the thrust during launch. And these boosters, fun fact, they are shuttle boosters that are now being used for their final flight on Artemis II. Crazy.
A mission back to the moon, the first time in more than 50 years.
Yeah, you know, just so proud of the crew and all of the teams here on the ground that made this happen. You know, they are carrying the torch from the Apollo era into the Artemis era. And, you know, as the crew likes to say, they want to be the shoulders that the next generation.
And let's see, GLS, can you help us with that, please?
They want to be the crew wants to be the shoulders that the next generation can climb on.
001.
You know, I think it's in their patch.
Even just being real, like I don't remember what I
know, he goes, but I'm glad you're here.
Representing humility and the professionalism of everyone that got them there today. So proud of them. We love them. We're excited for them, and we cannot wait to see
shots from in
what
there
they
probably
see.
an hour ago, and now take a look at all the people there.
You guys can help me out. If you have any questions that you would like for me to answer, please do so by tagging at Happy's Space Blast in the chat and typing your question. And I'm really happy to answer all of your questions. So please, if you have any questions, please put them down in the comments and I'll answer them for you.
Excited for, and we asked you to go vote on Instagram and Twitch. Instagram, you guys said launch. Twitch, you guys said lunar flyby. So I think you guys will all be very excited since we are now about 17 minutes from the opening of our launch window today. And so with that, as we approach terminal count, let's send it back to Daryl Nail in firing room 1. Daryl.
All right, thank you, Megan and Nicole, and just want to give you an update on.
Hello, everybody. Now we're gonna answer some more Q&A questions that many people have been asking or may not know. So with that, let's get started.
How much thrust is required to lift off?
Well, the answer to that question would be 8.8 million pounds, which is 15% more than the Saturn V rocket, the rocket that launched Apollo 11 to the moon.
That's great. What are the engines that are at the bottom?
Well, those engines at the bottom are the 4 RS-25 engines, the same ones that powered the space shuttle. Yes, these engines are also repurposed shuttle engines that are going to be flying for the last time, just like the solid rocket boosters.
So are they using the same ones or reusing, or they have recreated these from the shuttle?
Well, they are reusing these engines from the shuttle, but this will be their final flight into space. And for those who don't know, SLS is not reusable unlike Falcon 9 or Falcon Heavy, so that's why I'm saying this is their last flight, because everything on this launch vehicle is expendable. It's not going to be reusable. SLS is an expendable launch vehicle to maximize its power for deep space missions.
Any purpose on the color on the main tank?
Well, the core stage is orange for a reason. It's the spray of the foam insulation. It starts off as a cream colored. It starts off cream colored, but hands in the sun due to UV exposure. So that's why you may see it darkening the more it's exposed to sunlight.
Oh, that's great insight. How fast does it go, after 8 minutes after launch?
Well, after 8 minutes after launch, the Orion spacecraft will be traveling at 17,500 miles per hour, which is the equivalent of Mach 23. And with that, if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat right now. Thank you so much for all the views. It's helping me out a lot right now. And with that, we are L minus 14 minutes to launch. We're so close to launch. It's gonna be an exciting launch, and I'm gonna meet you guys at T minus 10 minutes or L minus 10 minutes. Thank you so much.
We're now entering one of the most consequential phases of launch day, and that's terminal count, the final 10 minutes.
And OTC, NTD, N212 for comm check?
Good, com. How me?
I hear you the same. STC?
2.
GTC?
GTC is on 212.
All right, copy that.
NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding confirming communications with his team. There will be 2 polls that we'll hear. One from Spaulding, the NASA Test Director, confirming the ground systems and the launch team are ready to proceed. At this point, we have a clear board, no constraints, but we need confirmation from each individual on the NASA Test Director team. So we'll hear him poll his team. The other poll that we're waiting for is the poll from Launch Director Charlie Blackwell Thompson, who will take that final status from NASA management before giving the go to come out of a hold. And you're seeing the clock count down at L-12 minutes.
CCL, OTC, Orion, RS1.
CCL.
Yes, sir. Reconfigure ARS primary loop ISO valves.
Copy, that's in work.
And CDR, OTC, Orion, RS1.
Go.
ARS loop ISO valves are being closed at this time.
Integrity copies.
NGDLP.
Go.
Yes, I had a discussion with Sea Ice and with MER Manager regarding the observation the Sea Ice had a few minutes ago. They were able to confirm with BCI photos that the condition that they observed has been there since 2025. MER Manager has had a chance to review the findings, and they do not have any constraints from either a Sea Ice or MER Manager perspective.
Okay. Copy all. And Launch Director, NTD, you copy?
Yes, sir. I copy. That's good news.
OTC, CCL 212.
OTC.
ARS primary loop isolation valve configuration is complete.
Copy.
And CGLS NTD, cancel pending, please.
GLS copies, and that's complete.
All right, and for all personnel, we got a little bit more work to do before we pick up the clock, and we're about a little over a minute from getting to T-minus 10 minutes, but we've canceled the resume time there, and then we'll pick it up after we get through all of our work and anything else that we need to do to get through the remainder of counts. So we'll continue working that to get to our T0 today. So when we get to about 50 seconds from now, we'll extend that hold.
CVSE OTC.
CVSE.
400-290, looking to verify that we are configured for ascent.
Yep, give me about 2 more minutes. I'm going to start CMA2 streaming.
Copy.
NTD, COSE, hold requested.
Copy that.
I have an LCC violation of O-CT-004, S-band transponder anomaly. This was a transient LCC violation, so transponder 1 had a demodulated SNR estimate that went down to 2 dBm when it should have been between 10 and 13. It is now back up to 12, but we did lose that for just a moment. It does not appear that we lost our bit sync or carrier lock, which would be indicative that we lost our lock with the vehicle. So at this point, recommendation would still be go. However, we do have a pre-planned contingency procedure if we want to look at that. But again, this was transient, so we're back in a nominal range.
All right, let's see, LPE NTD.
So as of right now, teams are figuring out systems. Right now, SLS and Orion are at T-minus 10 minute hold or L-minus 10 minute hold. Clocks have been synced. Things aren't looking go yet. Don't follow the green go that I've put on my screen yet. But right now, systems are being checked and things aren't looking good so far. Hopefully, all the issues that they have are going to be resolved. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a good launch. But first, hopefully they resolve the issues that they're in right now. Things do not sound good as of right now. But some major milestones will be coming if we do launch after the if we continue from the L-minus 10 minute count, would be the crew access arm retraction at L-minus 8 minutes. I don't remember the exact time, but yeah, it's around L-minus 8 minutes where that crew access arm will start retracting for launch. But as of right now, teams are doing some systems checks, so I'll stand by for that and I'll let you know once I have more information. Thanks.
And COSE, while we're doing that, these are 1/10 hertz measurements, correct? So we would have had to lose it for over 10 seconds to get a second sample?
Yes, sir, that's correct. It is 1/10 hertz.
Yeah, so from our perspective, the allowance is effectively up to 30 seconds, up to 3 samples based on the 1/10 hertz. This is not an LCC violation, I believe.
Yes, sir. I would agree with that at this point. Copy that.
We're checking with KUS on 232. I don't think they have 212 access. We're trying to verify, but it sounds like they have a loss of lock as well. About 2 seconds.
Okay. And I guess for both KUS and COSE, do we have lock now?
That's affirmed. We do have lock for COSE.
Yeah, so from the integration console perspective, we did have a temporary loss there within the allowable, and per the requirement, let's go.
And this is Houston Flight. We have lock and we have good telemetry here in GSE.
And KUS is reported to they have good lock now. So with all of that, OSC, then are we in a go configuration per your LCC?
Yes, sir. Recommendation would be go.
Okay. LP, you concur with that?
Yes, sir. LP concurs go.
And Launch Director?
Yes, sir. Launch Director concurs go.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and just verify everybody has everything else complete, Launch Director, and if we do, we'll be ready to pick up the poll at that time, unless there's something else that you're aware of.
No, sir. Let's verify all our work is complete, and I would like one last check of our constraints list.
All right, let's see. OTC, are you still waiting for ComConfig, or are you complete?
That is affirmed, sir.
Okay, is that your only open item?
Go systems are looking go on the Space Launch System vehicle. Whatever issues they had, they resolved it, and it's looking amazing out here. And all the work is complete. So with that, let's stand by for the count to resume.
Excellent. All right, and LPE, just want to verify we have no open constraints at this time.
No open constraints. We have a clear board, sir.
Okay, tracking the same here. And Launch Director, with that, we are clear and ready to pick up the launch readiness poll with your go.
All right, sir. I am go for the poll.
All right. And for all personnel, this is the NTD conducting the Artemis II launch readiness check. Verify ready to resume count and go for launch. OTC.
OTC is go.
STC.
STC is go.
GTC.
C's go.
MCO.
CO is go.
Safety Console.
Safety Console is go.
LPE.
LPE's go.
RTD.
RTD's go.
Houston Flight.
Houston Flight is go.
ROC.
ROC is go.
And CDR.
Crew is go.
Copy that. Thank you, Reid. And Launch Director NTD, our launch team is ready to proceed at this time.
All right, NTD, I copy all. At this time, I'll perform my poll. Attention on the net. This is the Launch Director performing the final poll for launch, verify no constraints, and go for launch. EGS, Program Chief Engineer.
Artemis Chief Engineers are go.
Copy, thank you. EGS, Chief Safety Officer.
Okay, that's good. We got very good news. We got the go for launch. With that, let's stand by for the launch of Artemis II.
Send.
I copy that. Reid, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. On this historic mission, you take with you the heart of this Artemis team, the daring spirit of the American people and our partners across the globe, and the hopes and dreams of a new generation. Good luck. Godspeed, Artemis II. Let's go. And NTD Launch Director.
Go ahead, Launch Director.
Yes, sir. You have a go to proceed with countdown.
Copy that. I'll put it in work. CDR, NTD.
Go.
Your visors and initiate short purge per your EPROC 10.1.1, steps 8 and 9.
10.1.1, 8 and 9 going to work.
Copy. CVSE NTD, start and verify recordings of our Orion cameras.
Copy.
Okay. Well, there you heard it.
RSR NTD.
RSR.
They're getting ready to start terminal count.
SNA arm rotation enable at this time, please.
It's currently at T-minus 10 minutes. Once we wrap up this last bit of work,
SNA arm rotation enable complete.
we're going to start that clock.
Copy that, thank you.
Integrity crew, close and lock visors.
You heard an issue, worked in real time with telemetry lock on the Orion. It was transitory, it was very short. They checked the data, confirmed that they had a good lock. This was with the S-band transmitter on the Orion. Worked through that issue, looked at the data, and cleared it. All with the world watching. Impressive work by the launch team. So we have a 2-hour window, which starts in just a few minutes at 6:24 p.m. Eastern Time and goes until 8:24 p.m. Eastern Time.
And ECL NTD will be waiting for your verification on the short purge.
ECL copies.
And for all personnel, once we get that short purge verification, we'll verify that we are clear to go, and then we'll proceed with the terminal count. ECL time estimate?
About a minute.
Copy.
Woohoo! Things are looking good for us so far.
So we're going into
We're gonna be opening that. They're gonna be starting that clock in about another minute. Things are looking good. They resolved the issues, and we're on track for a lovely launch of Artemis II. Things are looking good. And thank you so much for everyone who's joining my live stream. It's a pleasure to have you guys joining my stream on this historic day, as 4 astronauts will go to the moon for the first time in over 50 years. And if you don't know or are clueless about what's happening on this mission, go check out my video that I made detailed about the Artemis II mission. That's my latest video that I posted, and be sure to check that out on my channel. With that, all systems are go, and I'll see you in just a bit once the clock starts running down.
All right, and we're clear from cutouts. And with that, we're going to resume the clock momentarily. And CGLS, you can resume the clock on your mark.
GLS copies. 3, 2, 1, mark. GLS mainline has been initiated.
T-minus 10 minutes and counting.
And that begins terminal count. Our new T0 is 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. We are now counting down to liftoff of Artemis II. From now on, you're going to hear 2 voices on the loops. If everything goes nominally, NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding, who's directly managing the launch team, and Alex Bendelos, the GLS operator who closely monitors.
There you heard it. We are counting down to liftoff of Artemis II. If you are noticing, my clock is a little bit behind the actual launch clock, please don't mind that. I'm trying to troubleshoot some issues, but for now, things are looking good. Thank you so much for everyone who's joining. I see all the comments. Don't mind that. I see. Thank you so much for all the comments. Helps me a lot. They're gonna retract the crew access storm in just a bit. We were at T-minus 8 minutes and 40 seconds, and we should get that good view on the crew access arm. I just sure to retract, but we're go for launch, guys. We're go for launch. Everything's looking good on this historic day. SLS is a go. All systems are looking nominal so far. And with that, we're going to answer some more questions that some people may ask. So starting with this question, I'll actually just answer this for now. Some people may be asking, where is it launching from? Well, it's going to be launching from pad 39B, and that's the pad that's a historic launch pad, because Apollo 10, for example, that was the first launch from pad 39B. It has hosted space shuttle flights, Apollo flights. The team hosted the Ares 1X test flight launch, and so now we're bringing another spacecraft on pad 39B on this historic day. And another question that some may ask is, well, let me take it over.
I mean, what does Orion mean? What is the name of Orion? Why do they have Orion as a name?
I really don't know the answer to that question, but I can tell you the name of the crew, what the crew named Orion. Well, the crew actually named the capsule Integrity. Oh, and speaking of the crew access arm retract, you can see on your screen that crew access arm is retracting, and system looking go for launch, and everything's looking good for this historic launch.
In case of an emergency.
New launch is 6:35 p.m. Eastern time, so we gotta stick around for that. But so far, things are looking good. Woohoo! And you can hear the commentary as well from NASA.
So what is the mission of this Artemis II launch?
Well, the Artemis II mission, the primary goal for this mission is to see, it's basically a test flight. Orion, so basically they're going to launch Orion to the moon on a figure-8 path, and basically it's like a test flight. They're going to test out if Orion can handle if humans can be inside Orion and they can survive inside Orion. They're going to test numerous things like radiation. Can humans survive the radiation in the Van Allen belt, or systems like for example, they're going to do multiple science experiments. But the primary goal of this mission is to see, can humans go to the moon, and can they do it inside Orion? So that's what's happening on today's mission. And so far, things are looking amazing, and the crew access arm has successfully retracted back. There you can see a huge crowd of people and reporters as they're ready to watch this launch on this historic day, and it's amazing.
And how many days will it take them to return back to Earth?
Well, this mission is 10 days now. Now, unlike Artemis 1, which was, I believe, 25 days, this mission is going to be a little bit shorter. But, yeah, it's going to have humans. It's going to be on a figure-8 trajectory. So basically, humans, the astronauts or Orion, they don't have to do any burns to bring it into orbit. It's going to be using the moon's gravity to bring it on a figure-8 trajectory. And that's going to be approximately 10 days from today to splash down in the Pacific Ocean.
And can you tell about something about the astronauts who are joining this mission?
Well, here's the thing. So this mission is going to be launching 4 astronauts. The commander is Reid Wiseman. He is a veteran astronaut. And this is going to be, this is not his first space flight. That would be Jeremy Hansen. He's flying for the first time, but I'll more on that later. But yeah, Reid Wiseman, he's the commander for this mission. The pilot would be Victor Glover. This is his second mission. For those who don't know, Victor Glover flew on Crew 1, the first operational crew mission, on Crew Dragon. And, our mission specialist for one of our mission specialists for this launch is going to be Christina Koch. She is the first female to go into space, well, to the moon, the first female to go to the moon. And I forgot to mention, but Victor Glover is the first person of color to also go to the moon. And for those who don't know, these astronauts are not landing on the moon, they're going to be orbiting around the moon, just for clarification if you were wondering. And Jeremy Hansen is the first non-American to go to the moon. So yeah, it's lots of firsts on this exciting mission. And with that, we're gonna settle down for the final few minutes of count. I'm gonna still be talking for a bit, but yeah, we're right now at T-minus 3 minutes and 40 seconds. The T-minus and the L-minus clocks have been synced, so either way, it doesn't matter. My clock is still a little bit behind, just letting you know, so follow the clock that's right below mine's. And we're looking for on-time liftoff at 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time.
Awesome.
GLS is go for upper state internal power.
And one more thing, I forgot to mention, but you saw those 4 hours 25 engines gimbling. That's going to be the last time they're going to be gimbling on the pad before liftoff. These shuttle engines are these engines are shuttle engines, and they're inherited from the shuttle. And with that, let's settle in for the final minute of the count. Things looking good. Go Artemis 2, and hopefully we have a successful liftoff at 6:35 p.m. ET. With that, I'm gonna stop talking, and let's just sit down and enjoy the launch.
Which houses 3 flight computers, is now on its own power. There's no more hold time because there's no more margin on these batteries. So we would have to recycle back to T-minus 10 to recharge if we had a hold.
One minute.
Right now, the rocket does not know what the T0 is, but coming up at T-minus 33 seconds, control shifts from the ground launch sequencer to the rocket's onboard autonomous launch sequencer, or ALS. The rocket will count itself down, but honor any holds that could come from the ground. Now, shortly after liftoff, Houston will take control of the rocket, and my colleague Gary Jordan will take over commentary.
GLS is go for ALS.
Great call out. The rocket is on its own. 4 brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing.
15.
And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of integrity on the Artemis II mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high. On time passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the alternate MECO. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston saying good performance on the 4 main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour.
Oh my god, they actually launched the vehicle, and oh my god, that's a very beautiful launch vehicle. It's soaring into the sky. Go Artemis II. Everything's looking so super nominal. I'm speechless. This is an amazing launch. I didn't know they were going to launch it. Go Artemis II, and along with it, the 4 astronauts. This is an exciting moment in the history of spaceflight. 4 pioneers will make their way to the moon, and oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis II mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour.
And for those who are just joining, you're looking at the live launch of Artemis II as 4 astronauts are making their way to space. And right now, we have a successful liftoff of the SLS rocket as it's flying. And I'd like to say, go Artemis II. And oh, this is just a beautiful mission. And now would be a great time if you support more content like this. Please, you can support us by hitting the like and subscribe button. We're standing by for stage for SRB separation, and that should be happening any moment. No, there it is. We just have SRB separation. We have confirmation of SRB separation. Oh my gosh, they're actually doing it. Okay. The SRBs are gonna, those SRBs are gonna fall into the ocean. And oh, this is a new camera view. I've never seen this. Okay. But yeah, for, those SRBs, they've done their job for the 2 minutes. They're gonna fall into the ocean. They did their job. Rest in peace to those 2 SRBs, and they'll fall into the Atlantic Ocean on their last ever mission ever. So these were shuttle heritage engines, and from my view, the rocket, man, it's very pretty powerful. You can see it.
Right.
Yeah.
And we are fortunate to see the launch from our backyard.
Yeah. And oh my god, it's bright. We're pretty far off, but it's very bright. Oh, and there's a view. I'm guessing that's on the ICPS stage. Oh, there we have it. We have the separation. That launch abort system should fire up and go away. And oh, there it is. I think, yep, there it is. The motor is out. Oh my god. This is a beautiful launch. I didn't believe that they were going to do it on their first try. I mean, technically it is not their first try, but it is in a way. It is. Good luck to the crew of 4. Next up, we're going to have a MECO. That's the next milestone. And oh, you can see on the screen, look at how bright that flume is. I wonder how loud it was over there. I couldn't hear it, but okay, we have some more camera angles to watch it. Things are looking amazing, spectacular. The first daytime launch actually for SLS, so that's also another good thing. And oh my god, I'm speechless. This is an amazing launch. Humans are actually going back to the moon. Oh my god, and I just witnessed it right in front of my backyard. I can still see the smoke plume. I think I don't have eyes on the vehicle anymore, but it was a pretty darn good launch. Oh my god. I can't believe it. We're going back to the moon. Humanity is making their journey back to the moon in over 50 years.
Integrity, GPS processing.
Outstanding, Stan. We see the same, and we have a beautiful moonrise. We're headed right at it.
Approaching 5 minutes into the flight, Commander Reid Wiseman confirms he has visuals of his destination. GPS guidance, navigation, and control software finishes internal checks and sends to navigation channels.
Integrity, 3 engine press.
3 engine press.
So just another quick update for those who don't know, we had a successful liftoff of the Artemis II launch vehicle SLS, and The Artemis II crew successfully lifted off LC-39B at 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time, a little bit delayed, but still within the launch window. And it's a gorgeous view out here. We're T plus 5 minutes and 50 seconds. And if you're wondering, my clock is a little bit behind, but don't worry. We're going to get that fixed for future launches. But it was a pretty amazing launch. With that, we're going to return back to the questions. And wow, it's an amazing view. I didn't believe they were going to do it. I'm still speechless. It's such a historic moment in spaceflight for me. And with that, we're going to return back to some questions. Now, many people might be wondering. I'm going to let my dad ask the question.
Yeah, what is ICPS?
Well, the ICPS, like you're going to see in just a minute, it's called the Interim Cryogenic Propulsion Stage. That's why it's called ICPS for short. It is the top part of the rocket that pushes Orion toward the moon. It's the white part with the pointy tip. That's the launch board system. That was jettisoned a long time back. But the ICPS stage, it's gonna be that kind of like that second stage of the SLS rocket, and it's gonna raise the orbit of the crew to a high Earth orbit. And so once it reaches high Earth orbit, Orion will separate from the ICPS. And something that's very new on this mission is that the Orion spacecraft will actually do a proximity ops demonstration test. Basically, they're gonna practice docking to the ICPS stage, thinking basically they're gonna pretend that thing's like I don't know, something that they have to dock to, or there's cargo inside. Basically, it's going to be like a test for future missions when docking is required. For example, Artemis 4, when we'll have the moon landing. That's 2 missions away from now, but still, this is a huge step in spaceflight. But yeah, back to the ICPS question, what is it? It's basically it's the second stage that's going to push Orion to its high Earth orbit. And in this mission, they're going to use it as a test subject, and basically they're gonna practice docking to it in all angles. And if all goes successful, they're gonna gather the data from this mission, and it could help future missions like Artemis 4 and beyond, maybe even Artemis 3.
So will there be MECO in this as well?
Well, yes, there will be MECO. It's gonna happen right now, or it might have happened already. Yeah, it's gonna happen in just a bit. MECO is short for main engine cutoff. Oh, that's the ICPS stage. Oh my gosh, that's the ICPS stage. I didn't know they had a camera in there, so I'm guessing they had a MECO. Yep, I'm guessing they have MECO already. But yeah, the ICPS stage has separated. That's the ICPS. You saw that thing separating. That was the ICPS. And we already have MECO on the illustration. I know it's kind of there's another camera. I'm believing that's from Orion. I'm guessing that's one of the proximity ops camera that's going to be used during docking. But yeah, MECO's main engine cutoff just happened. They don't have it on the SRBs though, because these SRBs you can't really cut off the engines once you turn them on. But yeah, with the core stage, MECO main engine cutoff is basically the point where the engines turn off and they separate from the ICPS.
So is that the orange thing is the MECO?
So MECO, that's not what the orange thing is. The orange thing is so a good question, by the way. Many people have this question, I believe. But yeah, the orange thing, that's the core stage. That is the core stage goes through MECO. That's a phase when the core stage cuts off its engines during separation, because you don't want the rocket slamming into you while you're doing stage separation. And it runs out of fuel at that time as well, so they turn off those engines, and then they're going to separate from the ICPS. So yeah, great question. And yeah, I see the chat. How long are they going to be in the moon? Well, they're going to be in the moon for 10 days. So yeah, great question there again. They're going to be at the moon for 10 days. And now would be a good time, if you enjoy the content that I post. Just one more time again, please make sure to consider hitting that like and subscribe button and smashing that notification bell to receive daily updates on future content that I post. But yeah, we have a pretty successful launch right now, and the next phase in Artemis 2 is bringing the crew to the moon and back. So yeah, it reminds me of Apollo 8. I'm gonna bring up some more Q&A questions. I'm gonna bring that up. But yeah, here's another question that many people ask.
Yeah, I mean, this will be an interesting question. How much does fuel it will burn, or how much fuel is it required to launch this one?
Well, during launch, the SLS rocket burns about 730,000 gallons of liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. And take that into consideration. That's a huge amount, and it's gonna burn that up all in 8 minutes. The main core stage, it's gonna burn that all up in just 8 minutes. So, 730 gallons, 8 minutes. That's huge, you know.
And this liquid hydrogen, will it be cold or?
For any rocket that uses liquid hydrogen, for most rockets they use cold propellants, and yeah, I've never seen a rocket that doesn't use cold propellants. But yeah, the fuel, liquid hydrogen, it's going to be stored at negative 423 degrees Fahrenheit. That's super cold, but you need that fuel to be super chilled on purpose. So because once in its liquid state, you can store more fuel than it would be in its oxygen state, and still you can't really burn with oxygen. I mean, I guess you could, but they store the temperatures at negative 423 degrees Fahrenheit, and yeah, it's once the spacecraft the entire rocket itself was fully fueled long before the crew got into the Orion spacecraft, and during that point there's a thing called boil off where the fuel is basically boiling. Now, not like water. Water has a higher boiling point, but here liquid hydrogen obviously has a very cold boiling point, and that's why yeah, it's still boiling though. For like a couple of hours they had to, it was in replenish mode, and it was basically it was done fueling, but it was still fueling. Basically, what it means is like think of a boiling pot of water. You just turn it on and you leave the pot with water boiling. In like, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, you go and check the boiling pot. There's a pretty high chance that there's going to be no water in that pot. It's going to be all vapor. So same thing with the rocket. It's going to start turning into gas, so they're going to put more fuel to compensate for that lost gas during boil off. And with that, right now, ICPS is traveling in space. Things are looking good so far. There's a view. Yeah, that's where T plus 13 minutes and 50 seconds.
What time will it be near to the moon's orbit? How much time will it take?
It will take about 3 to 4 days to reach. Well, it's not really moon's orbit, because again, it's gonna be in a figure eight path. It's not gonna really use moon's orbit. It's gonna be on a free return trajectory. Basically, it's gonna use moon's gravity. Moon's gravity is gonna pull it, and it's gonna circle around the moon, and basically like an 8 shape. You know, think of it like an 8. The number 8, and basically that's the reference that I'm going to be using. But yeah, that's what I would expect. It would be 3 to 4 days, and if you don't know, you can still check with NASA. And I'm going to pull up some more questions that people might have. People have many questions about life in deep space. So let's start with the first question.
What do they eat typically when they are in space?
So in the Orion spacecraft, they'll be eating packaged freeze-dried meals like beef stew or mac and cheese. And so now, if you're wondering why it's all freeze-dried and packaged, like why is it airtight and stuff like that, well, it's because you don't want liquid or water or anything. Just you don't want crumbs or anything flying inside the spacecraft and possibly getting to equipment and damaging them. You know, you don't want that. Same thing the ISS. That's why they don't use bread. They use tortilla instead. And yeah, I mean they make pizzas with tortillas actually. And another question that people have related to food is, well, let me take that further.
parts of the moon that we
Will there be any kitchen in the Orion?
Yes, well, technically there is no kitchen. There's a galley to reheat water and rehydrate food. So, there's a galley for coffee, stuff like that, to heat them up. And the rehydration part is basically they pump water to rehydrate it, so it's freeze dry. They're gonna put water in a special machine, and it's gonna pump water inside and make it. Because think of it, who's gonna eat dried mac and cheese? That doesn't sound good. But yeah, that's the answer to the question.
Sunset, I guess they just made it over the
And
and you could see the sun peeking over. One of my favorite views from
how do they clean themselves? Do they take any bath?
Well, here's the thing. They don't shower. They use baby wipes and no rinse shampoo. And for those who are wondering, yes, it's the same thing on the ISS. There are there are just baby wipes and stuff like that. But there's no shower because you can't really waste the water. And so for that reason, that's the way. That's the reason why things are the way they are. But yeah, they wanna, when you're in space, you wanna really conserve water and stuff like that. So same thing with the bathroom actually. Once you're done, you don't wash your hands with water like you normally would do. Instead, what you would do is get a wipe, disinfectant wipe, and use it. And yeah, I know it sounds a little bit unhygienic, but astronauts survive, so it doesn't really matter that much. It's been used for the last couple of, it's been used for decades actually. And another question that many people have is there a toilet inside Orion? Well, nowadays, toilets are becoming a custom in spacecraft. Orion, yes, it does have a toilet on board. It's called the Universal Waste Management System thing. I don't really know how to use it because I have not been trained to use that. But yeah, it's definitely not your typical toilet. You gotta really, there's a seatbelt, I believe, to strap yourself in while you're doing your business. And on the Apollo missions, there was no toilet on the vehicle that they were in. So if you're wondering how they went along with their business, they used bags. And yes, disinfectant wipes and bags. That doesn't sound, that sounds gross to me, honestly. And another question that people do have, this is more of an ISS thing. I don't know if they have this on Orion, but as people ask, how do they get their water system? This is more of an ISS question, but how do astronauts on the ISS drink water, especially after when they're staying for 6 months and there's like more than one of them? Well, they do get resupplied with water every 3 months, but besides that, there's this filtration system. So basically, the astronauts, once they do their number one in the toilet, that goes and gets recycled and basically gets filtered out, and it comes as clean drinking water. Yes, it sounds disgusting and gross, but astronauts on the ISS have done that, and I'm pretty sure it might be on Orion too as well, but I'm not really sure because it's a small spacecraft. Well, it's not really small if you compare it to other spacecrafts, but still, it's relatively small compared to the ISS. With that, let's take a quick update from what's going on with NASA. So till then, I'll see you in just a bit.
The Solar Wing deploy is a critical milestone. We'll continue to have our coverage follow the mission until that deployment. A successful launch is just the beginning. The deployment of the solar arrays and successful confirmation that those solar array wings are drawing power is a significant milestone, and says to the flight control teams that we will continue on today's mission. Power needs to be drawn to continue through some of the next milestones. Until then, the AOA open option that was called up upon ascent, the abort once around, is the current option, and abort to orbit option ATO will be switched to a preferred mode at the time that the solar array wings are deployed and latched. It gives the flight control teams a little bit more flexibility.
Integrity Houston, update on TDRS handover for your pad.
Give us just 1 minute. And Stan, you can read it. Ike is ready to copy.
Roger. TDRS handover east to west expected 1 second earlier at 51 minutes, 26 seconds.
Hi, Stan. We copy 1 second earlier for 5126 TDRS east to west, and saws are starting to deploy. Thermal knives are firing.
We concur. Thanks for the report.
Read back of the reports that you just heard on the Orion to Earth network. Integrity has maneuvered tail to sun. The RL-10 nozzle on the end of the ICPS is pointed towards the sun, and the solar array deployment sequence has begun. With the deployment confirmed, it'll be several minutes until they are what is called in a latched position. Once they are latched and confirmed to be drawing power, they can switch the mode to ATO and continue along the mission. The teacher's handover at the pad, that message meant the crew was provided some preliminary numbers of when to expect handovers between the tracking and data relay satellites.
For those of you who are just joining, you have just witnessed history happening right now. For those who don't know, just joined, whatever. We had a successful launch of Artemis II at 6:35 p.m. Eastern, and so far the crew and Orion are now going to start making their way to the moon. All systems appear to be go for the next few maneuvers. Yeah, it was a pleasure having you all at the Space Blast. And one last recap for those who don't know. Basically, what happened today was that the Space Launch System launched successfully at 6:35 p.m. Eastern. Right now, the crew and Orion are in Earth orbit. And for those who are just wondering, I know Orion is not going to go straight to the moon. They still have a few more burns. They're going to have a few more burns that they're going to do. That they're going to bring to. That's going to bring the crew to high Earth orbit. Once they reach high Earth orbit, they're going to start doing multiple things, like checking out systems, doing the proximity ops demonstration. They're going to be staying there for about 24 hours. After that, they're going to make their way to the moon, which is going to be about 3 or 4 days, and then they're going to come back, which is also going to be another 3 or 4 days. And once that's done, they're going to have a successful splashdown in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of San Diego. I believe it's going to be off the coast of San Diego. And yeah, so far this is just a start into this is a sentimental start to history. This was a wonderful moment to witness, and I'm glad to have it caught on camera on my first ever live stream. Yeah, for those who have been followers of my channel, you know that this is my first ever live stream that I'm hosting. And so yeah, it will be a pleasure. One last time, if you haven't already, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button and smash that notification bell to receive daily updates on future content that I post. It will really help me out a lot. And with that, let's do a replay of the rocket launch. Let's do a replay of last time. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Artemis. This is my dad over here. Please make sure to like and subscribe to support our content. And with that, here is the final. Here's a recap of what happened today.
Brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing.
15.
And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis II mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
On time, passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the alternate beacon. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on the 4 main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour. Mission elapsed time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, Ponce de Leon.
Stan, we have you loud and clear on Ponce de Leon.
Have you the same?
Communication signal transfer confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic. Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis II mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour. Minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation expected at the 2-minute 9-second mark. We see throttle down. Confirmed separation. Main engine's throttling up, guidance converged.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready.
Copy all, Stan.
Integrity, SM priming complete.
SM priming complete.
2 minutes 45